Hello, this is Peg with Craft Room Stories. Welcome to my channel. Okay, guys, today we are doing a different kind of craft. Yes, we are going to make old-fashioned peanut butter fudge. However, my mother figured out, and my dogs are barking. I don't know, something's going on. You probably can hear it, but hopefully not. Tune it out if you can. They are outside, but it's, anyway. So my mother figured out how to make it in the microwave so that it goes much faster and you don't have to stand forever and a day stirring, which is what I still do with the one I make with marshmallow cream, but that's okay. So I am going to show you how to do it. Now, if you want to take a screenshot, this is in my mother's handwriting. Okay, this is the front thing. Now, this is not going to show you how to do it in the microwave, but I am. But this will give you all of the ingredients that you will need. Okay, so hopefully I stood that carefully. All right, so what I've got right now is I've got my KitchenAid mixer because I like to use that, but any bowl that you want to use to mix it in, I would not recommend plastic because it doesn't stay cold as long. I would recommend metal or glass because you will be mixing this with the mixer after it is done and it has cooled just a little bit. And then we'll mix it till it's not as shiny, and then we will put it in the pan. Now, I have got I think it's a 9x9. Let me just see. Yes, it's a 9x9 square baking pan. Did you notice the color? Yes, it is purple. Because my whole house is purple. And anyway, I am going to butter this very quickly because I forgot to do that ahead of time. Actually, no, I'll butter it once I get the thing get the stuff in the microwave. Okay, so what we are going to do first is we are going to take 2 cups of sugar. Okay, let's see if I can make sure that I am on screen here. We're going to put that in a microwave safe bowl. I use this glass bowl from shoot, I don't know where I got this. One of those things that they sell. Oh, anyway, where they have parties and stuff like that. I don't know, I remember what it's called, but anyway, that, okay. And then we will take and do 2/3 cup of milk. We always use evaporated milk for this. I'm not sure why. I don't know what the reason is, but I don't know if it can stand a higher heat. If that's the reason why, I don't really know. But you need evaporated milk. I recommend Great Value, Aldi, whatever. It does not have to be name brand or anything like that. So we're going to do 2/3 of a cup. Okay. Now, a lot of times when I'm cooking, I don't measure. But because this is, the candy has to be fairly precise, I measure most things. Now, with the peanut butter, I recommend a creamy. For this particular one, you can use crunchy if you want that nutty flavor, but I like mine a little bit smooth. And I do like to use the one that is a natural no stir. Now, this might have, it says it has some sugar in it, which is probably not good for you, but nevertheless, this is what works well for me. This is from Sam's, but often I get I think it's the Jif one that is a natural, but whatever. I just use the natural peanut butter because it typically has now. That had a little bit of marshmallow cream, but it won't hurt it. It will not hurt it. See, heaping, okay? Because we like ours really peanut buttery. We do not want it to taste like barely peanut butter, and so we tend to use a lot. Also, I need to point this out because it was something that I learned. Let me get that out of the way. Now, I have not done cooking in here. Look, we have a little bit. I'm just going to scrape that off of here and then I'll get like a paper towel. I don't typically do cooking on here, so I've got my camera set up in the kitchen. It's nerve-wracking. Okay, so what we're going to do with this is, actually, I think I'll just take this spoon that we used with the peanut butter, and we're going to stir this all up till it's predominantly mixed pretty well. You want the stuff to be kind of all incorporated with each other. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put it in the microwave. And we are going to, okay, you know what I forgot to tell you? Well, once I get this stirred up, I'll tell you. Okay, we've got this all stirred up. We are going to use this spoon again, but we want to get as much of the sugar and stuff off of it because we don't want to make our fudge grainy tasting at all, or texturized. I like mine to be smooth. So what I found is that you need to use white sugar for this. You cannot use the natural sugar turbinado or anything like that because it will be grainy. I don't know why. So we have to, this is a completely unhealthy fudge, but I think fudge in itself is not meant to be healthy. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the microwave for 3 minutes and then take it out and stir it, and then put it in for 3 more minutes, take it out and stir it, and then put it in for 2 minutes. Sometimes 1 is sufficient, but it just depends on how your microwave does. I do it sometime between 1 and 2 minutes. And then we're going to take it out, stir it up, and we are going to add to that 1 tablespoon of butter and a teaspoon of vanilla. And we're going to kind of mix that in and let it, so the butter can all melt. And then we're going to put that into our chilled mixing bowl and put that to mix until the shine is gone. And then we're going to pour it in our buttered pan, which I do not have done yet, but I will once this is in. So bear with, I'm gonna put this spoon down and I'm gonna stick it in the microwave. Okay, I'm gonna pause you for just a second so you won't have to wait for 3 whole minutes while it's cooking. Okay, I'm popping back on here to say one thing. By the way, I've got my butter and my vanilla measured out here. It's probably slightly more than a tablespoon, but that's okay with that. It's mostly the sugar and milk that has to be kind of precise. Okay, so I will have to mix this very quickly, so I can't actually show you doing that. But what I will show is you want to have a little cup, either clear or white, so you can see what's going on in the bottom, of cold water. And when the peanut butter mixture gets to soft ball stage, which should be at the 1 or 2 minutes after the 6 minutes, 3 minutes, then 3 minutes, and then 1 or 2 minutes, you'll put a little dollop in there. So like I do it for 3 minutes, 3 minutes, and then I do 1 minute, and then check it. And if it doesn't seem like it's forming a soft ball in the water, then I put it back in for a bit. But that's what you use to check. And if it forms a little ball in the bottom of this water, then, and I'll show you what that looks like, then it is done and ready to go in the cold mixing bowl. So I just wanted to pop on and say that before I forgot. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back and I'm working fast. Do you see this? This is the soft ball stage. It kind of clumps together, and that's when you know it is ready. And this is what it looks like. We're going to go ahead and dump the butter and the vanilla in there and get that stirred up while it's in the hot container. And then I've got my frozen or ice cold or whatever mixing bowl ready. As soon as I get this butter melted good, then I'm going to put it in there, and after it cools for maybe a minute or so, I'm going to start mixing it. But it usually sets up pretty quickly. Okay, here we go. Let me just move that. And I scrape the bowl. Some people don't because they say it adds grain. I haven't found that to be the issue if you've mixed it up properly the whole time you're working with it. And I just don't want to leave any behind. No, I do not. It's too good. Okay, so I will pause and be back after it's mixed. Okay, now I don't know if you can see, there's some bubbles in there, and it's gone from a high gloss to a little bit dulled down. And we're going to pour that in our pan now so that it can finish cooling. And I don't know how to do this to where you can see what I'm doing, but I'll try. I got to get it all out of there. It starts setting up pretty quickly, so you can feel that it's harder to get it out of the bowl. Now, this is very hot. You want to make sure you don't touch this hot sugar in any way. See, it's already sticking to my spatula. That's okay. We're going to shake that off of there. All right, now we're going to leave that to sit and cool. We won't be cutting it up, obviously, till it's cool. Otherwise, you just eat it with a spoon. But see this right here? This is the taste tester. This is how you test it to see if it's really good. Look at that. See, that's making a little string. Do you see that? And it's not hot now. Well, it's warm, but it's not real hot on the spatula. And then, see, you get you a dollop on your finger like that, and you just taste it. And it's smooth and silky, and it feels a little chewy on your tongue. It won't after you get it done. So, I will come back to you when it's cooled off and ready to be cut so that you can see what it looks like. Okay, hold on. Okay, guys, we are back. This is totally cooled now, completely set up. I did put it in the fridge so that it would go a little bit faster. You can totally do that. It doesn't have to be kept in the fridge, but if you're wanting to eat it faster or serve it faster, then you can definitely put it in the fridge to let it completely set up. So let's try to, I'm going to take this little knife, and it's not a little knife, it's kind of a big knife, and see if I can get some good cuts on it. The handle is getting in the way because it's kind of curved. Let's just see. There, that just popped out real quick. I may take, let's see. I might just go, I'm trying to find like the easiest way. I may start it with this in the middle and then use a smaller knife to do the edges. The dogs are coming because they see me doing something. That just kind of, maybe I can do it with this one. Okay, anyway, I had them blocked off before, but they're definitely back in the house now. Okay. This is such a good peanut butter fudge. I mean, the one with marshmallow cream is good too, but this one is, well, my mother always called it old-fashioned, and I guess it's because this is the first one that she had. Now you can put it in a, whoops, messed that cut up. You can put it in a, like a 9-inch pie pan. It'll just, whatever you do, it, you know, it affects the thickness. And but let's just take out one of these smaller pieces right here. I want to show you what it looks like up close. Let's see, do you see that? All right, now I'm just biting into it. Look at that. See how perfect that looks? And of course, this is a different texture than the marshmallow cream one. That one is a lot softer and kind of crumbly a little bit. And this one has just a different texture, but it's such a good flavor. But again, I recommend if you like peanut butter and you're making a peanut butter fudge, do those heaping tablespoons of the peanut butter to give you that really good peanut butter flavor. It's so yummy. I'm totally eating this whole piece. And when you butter the pan, you've got that little bit of kind of butter. I use salted butter. And you get that salted, a little bit salty flavor just on the edge of the peanut butter fudge. It's so good. Yeah, totally worth it. I'm not even regretting that piece. I don't care. Calories at Christmas don't count. That's my philosophy. So, as you can see, this made quite a bit of fudge. And this is just one recipe of it. I never make 2 at a time of this particular one because of making it in the microwave, and my bowl isn't very big. And I don't want it to, you know, overflow or anything like that. Plus, I've got the timing down. I did do 3 minutes, 3 minutes, and then 1.5 minutes. Is what ended up working perfectly for me. And this is actually set up perfectly. So you might try that. But like I said, I've showed you all the details. And go make you some microwave old-fashioned peanut butter fudge. All right, hugs. Bye.